Hello YouTube! Today I wanted to do a quick video on a subject that came up during some chats lately. I had a couple of conversations on Discord with people asking me, well, Zork, the goal of the Thalmor is to unmake Mundus, right? So unmake the universe. And why am I only hearing that now? Well, I'm going to tell you that in this video. I'm going to try to explain it, so let's quickly start. So as I said, lately I've been getting some questions regarding the motives of the Thalmor. As this question is getting more and more frequent in my private Discord conversations, I decided to do a video on it. So those people are asking, isn't it true that the Thalmor want to unmake the world? And then I always say, yeah, depending on what theory you are willing to believe in, that could be true. This theory of the Thalmor wanting to unmake the world has circulated a bit, and I believe it originated in the writings of a former Bethesda employee that no longer worked for Bethesda by the time of Skyrim's development, so no influence there. However, the people that chose to believe state that this theory has actually backed up by some facts in the game, which is why the theory got so much traction. So, first of all, let me say this. While I'm hugely skeptic of this theory, it could still be true. While I see it as unlikely for reasons that I will soon cover in this video, Bethesda could still say, hey, we see this theory and we just make that their ultimate goal for Elder Scrolls 6, as in Elder Scrolls 6 you could be like the hero needing to stop the Thalmor from unmaking the world. That's actually pretty possible, however I see this as very unlikely. So, first of all, why do people choose to believe in this theory in the first place? Well, for two main reasons. First of all, there's Ancano during the College of Winterhold questline. While he is being corrupted by the power of the Eye of Magnus, he yells, "I have the power to unmake the world at my fingertips." People see this as a validation of the theory. And the second reason that people see it as valid is because during the Great War, the Thalmor sacked the White Gold Tower, one of the towers that is supposed to be holding up Mundus, and thus destroying it would significantly advance the unmaking or destroying of Mundus. Now the tower lore and the many theories on it are a subject for another video, as I just don't know enough about it at this point. However, if I have to believe everything I've heard about the tower lore, then this would be the strongest argument for the Thalmor wanting to unmake the world, that they sacked the White Gold Tower. But there's one more major problem with this argument. The White Gold Tower was not the main objective of the Dominion. Hell, it was not even an objective in the first place. The objective of the Great War was conquering southern Hammerfell. They changed the objectives when the war in Cyrodiil proved easier than they thought. Then they were like, oh wait, we just conquered the Empire as a whole instead of only Hammerfell. If they wanted the White Gold Tower, why not just rush your armies to the Imperial city instead of sending a scouting and mainly a diversion army into Cyrodiil? Why in the name of Akatos wage a lengthy true front war and capture a lot of cities if you can rush your way to the tower and destroy it? Why not make that your first objective instead of changing it halfway? And second, there's Ancano. Ancano is actually a peculiar case. Ancano was sent to the College of Winterhold by the Thalmor to spy on it, and perhaps discover anything that could give the Dominion an edge during a war. The Dominion did not know about the presence of the Eye of Magnus. I cannot stress that enough. Nobody knew, except for the Psijic Order. Nor did the Dominion know that something like this would be discovered, as is proved by Ancano's dialogue. He is also very surprised by the discovery. Ancano is not in any way a high-ranking Thalmor member, and was sent there simply as a spy. My personal beliefs are that Ancano, once he saw the power, was no longer acting on the behalf of the Thalmor, but was corrupted by the hunger for personal power, and that his actions were actually completely his own, and not that of his government. And his little slogan of "I have the power to unmake the world at my fingertips" is just something he says when he is corrupted by the power, and to just show how powerful he is. I say this because every other piece of Thalmor dialogue, or when you speak to the Thalmor in any of the games, or you hear of the Thalmor in the novels, all those things point in the opposite direction of this theory. Every single Thalmor member we can speak to disproves this theory of wanting to unmake the world, and their actions do as well. Whenever you speak to a Thalmor member, they will always say that they want to restore elvish dominance on Tamriel. For example, when spoken to on Dolomar, he will actually say that it is the goal of the Thalmor to establish elvish superiority over man, 1 century at a time. And that makes sense in the context of what we know. We know that the Thalmor felt oppressed by the Empire and wanted to re-establish dominance of the elves and just drive the Empire out of Tamriel. It is even stated in one of the canon novels that their goal is bringing back the Merethic era. So, the Merethic era means Mer-ethic era, which is the era of elvish dominance over men. Why else, other than waging a war of conquering and dominance, would they just wage a great war with tactics clearly meant to conquer land? It just doesn't add up with what we know. All their actions, literally all the Thalmor actions, can be traced back to literally political motivations instead of mythical motivations. The problem with the Elder Scrolls community in this is that they want the series to be way more spectacular than it is in some points. I mean, take the southern coast of Hammerfell. Why did they want that? Well, probably to get dominance over the Abyssinian Sea, one of the richest trading waters of Tamriel, and by conquering southern Hammerfell they could greatly limit the access of the Empire to that region. Because when they have conquered all of southern Hammerfell, the Empire only has the port of Anvil left. And why take down the Empire? Well, to have the Dominion be the dominant state on Tamriel, because remember, elvish dominance is their canon goal. Why ban Talos? To cause friction within the Empire by banning the worship of its founder, so that the remains of the Empire fall even faster. We can see this in Skyrim, where the ban to Talos has actually led to a splitting off of certain regions of the Empire, and a complete civil war. I could continue this list for hours, as I have done to some of the people that actually approached me with this question. The problem for me with this theory is that everything the Thalmor do, as I said before, speaks against this theory, and all their actions can actually easily be explained from the geopolitical side, and not from the mythical side. Again, people want to make the Thalmor way more spectacular than they already are. Well, I genuinely believe that they are not. As someone who has studied the 4th era very extensively and has studied the in-game and in-books Thalmor very extensively for multiple videos, I can almost 100% guarantee you that they want to establish elvish dominance on Tamriel and rule over man, and that they don't want to unmake the world. Why go through all those lengths to rule if you're gonna break down whatever you're gonna rule? But then again, that's just my point of view. My point of view is very focused on the political and the geopolitical side of the Elder Scrolls, the politics between major states, and I just judge every Empire-Dominion interaction through that angle. So do keep that in mind. I would not be surprised if they did have an ulterior motive, I just don't think it's this one. And with that I end this video. If you liked the video, like, subscribe. If you like the music in this video, give the composer a watch. He has multiple Elder Scrolls themed music on his channel, and everything you've heard in this video is composed by him. This is all the Imperial Knowledge soundtrack, but he makes a lot of other music, including Elder Scrolls inspired battle music, Elder Scrolls inspired campfire music, tavern music, and you can go on, dungeon music, etc. Give him a watch. If you want to get access to high quality downloads of the soundtrack of the Imperial Knowledge soundtrack, you should support me on Patreon. If you support me on Patreon, you get access to all Patreon content and your name at the end of every video. And with that said, if you want personal contact with me, there's my Instagram and Discord in the description. And I'm going to end the video here. I will see you all in the next lore video, and have a very good day. Bye bye.